All right. 3 bottles of beer on the wall, 3 bottles of beer. Take one down, shave it around, and take another bottle of beer off the wall. All right, what are we drinking today? Czech style Pilsner. This one's just a lager from Little Beast from my Portland trip with Jack. Czech style Pilsner. Let's go ahead and crack it. Give it a little taste here. All right. Slip it into my little sleeve here. What are we using today? And why are there beers on the wall? Well, it's the You're Not Down challenge. This one was started by the dude of shaving. He was the one who started this. He basically, I think he's just trying to have some fun, break up the monotony, and really we want to see who's that. So he got this started. Basically, the premise is you drink, or I shouldn't say drink, you chug a beer before each pass. I'm a 2-pass shaver, but we're gonna do what everybody else did. So I am gonna be using a Schick Injector though. I saw others used a straight razor, and I had all intents of using a straight razor, but I wanted to use this yesterday, and a curveball got thrown in, so now I'm using this today. It is what it is. I'm using the Schick Golden 500. It's my favorite fucking razor right here in the whole den, out of straights, DEs, and SEs. My favorite. I love that thing. What are we using today? We are using Suavecito's Whiskey Bar. I show you this because the soap itself just came in a little bucket like this. Didn't have much going on, no details, just a little Suavecito S. So I got my Lancaster bowl, I got the whole puck in there, and then I got my Wolf Whiskers brush and my bougie brush bath. So, I suppose I should get this thing on the fucking road, huh? Take one down, pass it around. Oh, I'll show you this in a second as well. So, this is from Deschutes Brewing. It's called the Black Butte Porter. I guess there's some details right there. 5.5% alcohol out of Bend, Oregon. So there's that. And there we go. Looks like I chose the right glass. Down the hatch. Okay. Excuse me, there might be a lot of that. All right, let's get to lathering. So, here's my Wolf Whiskers brush. It's got that beautiful black and silver metallic. Never used Suavecito before, so let's see how this goes. So yeah, this one here, the Whiskey Bar scent, is basically, well, the scent is supposed to recreate a whiskey bar. Now, what I'm getting off of it is a lot of leather. So I'm assuming they took kind of like the leather armchairs, maybe even some of the clientele having leather briefcases or leather garments. And I think that's what they went with, like, as far as considering this, because to me, I get leather forward. Now, I do feel like there is like some sweet booze in there, kind of controlling the amount of leather, because kind of hits you. The stink of the Kink from First Canadian, this one actually, I like it better because I feel like the leather is toned down and more well mixed. Even though the leather is up front, it's not as up front as this whiskey bar, to me. All right, let's go ahead and wet the face. So yeah, it's definitely got some whiskey in there, though. I think, to me, it just adds kind of like some sweetness, some vanilla. I don't think it's like a boozy scent. I would say it's a leather scent with some sweetness in it. Definitely leather forward, though. No doubt in my mind. Just added a little bit more water. The Suavecito looks pretty good already. I mean, looks like a shaving leather. Yeah, looks good. I don't really have many notes to tell you guys about the soap base. I have no knowledge of it, really. Never used it before. Never did any research. It's just kind of anonymous to me. I know of Suavecito, but you don't see them all that often. Alright. Let's get with it. The Schick Injector. So, I've seen many people tackle this challenge pretty easily. The Europeans especially did well. You know, everybody kind of caveats, not much of a drinker, but I'll do it, and then they end up crushing it. So I guess I should have caveated that at the beginning. But of course you guys would have saw right through that. I was actually appalled. Flabbergasted. Perplexed. I don't know how I wasn't tagged in the original group. The fucking Gigi knows me. The dude of shaving. He knows me. He knows my channel. And I will say, where I'm not the first motherfucker to drink a beer on camera, or drink whiskey on camera, or even have a cigar while shaving. I will tell you one thing. I sure as fucking hell normalized it. I'd like to see a single shaver that has had more drinks on camera than me. And it's one thing Jack from the Virtual Groom Room and others have told me, but they mentioned nobody used to post their beers on their shaving channels before you, like on their Instagrams and Facebooks, their shaving accounts, you know. Nobody used to post their beers or beverages like the way you do. And now it is kind of par for the course to see a lot of shavers showing their drinks. Give it up. You gotta give it up. Give props where props are due. Another beer off the wall. I'm actually never been too much of a chugger, even though I've done some, you know, competitive drinking in high school and whatnot, of course. But never been much of a chugger. Let me just... Very fancy. Okay. Past two. Those porters are fucking delicious. Even in the chugging format. They have a nice, like... A nice bit of, like, roast, which lends, like, the slightest little bitterness. But other than that, they're just kind of sweet, like some dark chocolate or something. But they're like a really light take on dark chocolate, like if dark chocolate was sessionable. Porters were kind of like the working man's beer back in the day. They used to make stouts. Damn. Get that air back out of my system. They used to make stouts, which, as their name implied, were more stout than porters. They kind of kept for longer without going bad, which was a real problem, like, back in the day. And, but porters were kind of like the working man's drink. And porters were actually kind of like workers that worked on the docks, I believe. Worked in the ports. And so the drink they would order was basically a mix of styles between old techniques and new techniques. And they kind of put them together to make a porter. And I mean, it kind of had a lot of popularity, lost popularity, and came back up, and then kind of plateaued. So porters, I love them. I recommend them to like newbie drinkers. Because a straight up porter, not like an imperial porter or a barrel aged porter or all this bullshit, but a straight up porter is supposed to be sessionable. You know, like, you can have, 3 or 4 of them after work down at the pub, and then go home to your wife and kids who are wondering where the fuck you've been. So, yeah, I've always liked porter. Working man's drink. And I know my buddy Lee will probably throw in a couple additional tips in the comments about porters, because he's a beer guy. So keep your eye out for those. I am preemptively tagging his comment. He always has good insights on beer. Every now and then, he'll even have some corrections on what I said, which is outstanding. I love that some of my viewers know a thing or two about craft beer and just beer history in general. I was talking beer with Linda from Purely Skinful earlier, actually. Okay. I think we got a pretty good past 2 in. And Lee, by the way, since I don't really know who to tag for this, I'm gonna tag you, assuming you have some form of social media. If you don't, you don't. I guess that's fine. But if you do, I'd like to see maybe a shave of the day pic before the shave and a shave of the day pic after the shave, to at least know that 3 beers had to be drank. Whether you chugged them or not, 3 beers had to be drank. So, Lee, your tag. Alright. Let me Let me grab the Lancaster towel. Oh, can't believe I just did that. That should be like dropping the American flag where you just burn it if it hits the ground. So, Lee, I'm tagging you. It's funny, because, like, obviously not a lot of people wanted to do this. The You're Not Down challenge really brought out who was down and who wasn't down. Marion, bless his heart. Respect. That's all I gotta say. Respect. Puke and rally. Respect. That's one of my moves. Sometimes your gut gets full, you need to make some space, but that doesn't mean you're done drinking. So, tagging some of my viewers, like Lee. Who else drinks? I know Kyle. I've mentioned him in videos before. Kyle, if you ever get around to seeing this one. I know me and you have talked a little bit about craft beer. If you want to do a You're Not Down challenge and kind of send me the before and after shave of the You're Not Down on maybe Instagram at DKDamnFineShave. If you want to show me that, your before and after picture. Who else might do this? I don't think Justin, the Red Island Shaver, is much of a beer drinker, but maybe a little shot of whiskey. I don't know if you'd be down for that, brother, but if you are. Shaving with Chief. I know he enjoys some craft beer. I don't know if Jack said that he drinks beer so fast he doesn't enjoy it. I don't know. Corey, if you're down, maybe go ahead and feel free to do a You're Not Down challenge if that's content that you're okay with having on your channel. And feel free to decline, guys. Like, it's really not a big deal. I understand not everybody's down. And thus rolls in the peer pressure. Alright, let's wolf this last one down. Cheers. All right. So, on to the recap. The tool of the night was Great Notion Brewing's bottle opener. Got that in a $125 boxed set of 2 bourbon barrel aged imperial stouts. God damn. You're probably wondering, 2 beers, $125? Beers that they get real. You know what I mean? They get just as real as whiskey. You just didn't realize that. Alright. Suavecito whiskey bar. I don't know if I mentioned this, but Marion the Barbarian was the one who gave this to me. Along with all that other shit that he gave me. Big thanks, Marion. I believe this is actually one of his all-time favorites. It's very masculine. I like it. I don't love it. To me, it's really leather forward and kind of one-sided. To me, I feel like they could have done what Kink did. Toned it back a little bit. It could still be leather forward, but they can afford to tone it back a little bit and kind of ramp up that sweetness and let them have kind of like a 30-70 split or a 60-40 split. I feel like they had the right idea, maybe just not well executed, or maybe it just wasn't meant for me. Either way, still performed very well. Very good soap. Kind of reminded me of Fine Accoutrements, to be honest. The Schick Golden 500 Injector. This is what I call the Schick Goat 500. Greatest of all time. The goat, the Billy Goat, resting on top of the hill. This right here, I like it better than all my other DEs, SEs, straights. My favorite razor in the den. The Lancaster bowl. The Wolf Whiskers brush. One more time. Synthetic. And that was fantastic. I enjoyed every fucking bit of that shave. So, I'll go ahead and take this off. And we will finish where we started. With the Schick, not the Schick, Bloopers Czech style Pilsner, not the Schick style Pilsner. Right there. Thank you guys for joining me on this little kind of off the beaten path, you're not fucking down challenge. If you feel like you're down and you have the balls to do something like this, go ahead and do it. You don't need to be tagged, just go ahead and do it. I don't think this one's going to make it very far, so if you want to do it, just do it. Don't wait for someone to tag you. Cheers, guys. Catch you on the next one.